All right, so previously we took a look at the Marshall Emberton 2 Bluetooth speaker and we compared it to the original Marshall Emberton, and we pretty much established that this is the better option. It has slightly better sound quality. It has the app support, so you can change the EQ as well as pair this up with other Marshall Emberton 2 speakers. Well, today we're going to compare it to the JBL Flip 6 as well as one of my other personal favorites, the Bose Soundlink Flex. So we're going to see how these two stack up, and then we're also going to do a sound test towards the end of the video so that you guys can hear for yourself and see if you can pick up on any of the differences. So let's talk about the specs and overall features, get those out of the way, and then we'll move on to the sound portion. So when it comes to battery life, the Marshall Emberton 2 does have the clear advantage with an advertised 30 hours on a single charge. So your battery life will vary depending on your volume levels and things like that. But even if you're listening at very high levels and you don't get the full 30 hours, you're still going to get much better battery life compared to the advertised 12 hours of the JBL Flip 6 and the advertised 12 hours of the Bose Soundlink Flex. So overall, as far as battery, the Marshall Emberton 2 is the way to go. So all three of these speakers have an IP67 dust and water resistant rating, which basically means you can take these just about anywhere and you don't have to worry about damage. So if you want to go camping, if you want to go to the pool, to the beach, you want to take these to your job site, maybe you work construction or something like that, you don't have to worry about dirt, dust, sand, water. None of those are going to pose a threat for any of these speakers, so it definitely helps to have that peace of mind. So one thing that separates the Bose Soundlink Flex as well as the JBL Flip 6 is that you have the option to attach the speakers to pretty much whatever you want. So with the Bose, you can see on the right side, you have this little loop. So that gives you, some options as far as attaching this to like a gym bag, a travel bag, backpack, whatever you got going on. And then with the JBL Flip 6, you have this lanyard attached to it. So you pretty much have the same options. You could attach this to your bag, your clothing. So if you're like a very outdoorsy type person, maybe you do a lot of hiking and things like that, it definitely helps to have that option. With the Marshall Emberton 2, you really don't have that available. So you pretty much just have to throw this inside of a bag or something of that nature. Another feature that separates the Bose Soundlink Flex is that this is the only speaker out of the bunch that offers a speakerphone. So if you're connected to the speaker, enjoying your music, your podcast, whatever you're listening to, and a phone call happens to come through, you can choose to answer it and handle the phone call directly through the speaker. Unfortunately, with the Marshall Emberton 2 and the JBL Flip 6, that's not going to be an option. So all three of these speakers do have app support, which allows you to connect them to other compatible speakers. So with the Marshall Emberton 2, if you purchase multiple, you can connect them together to get a bigger sound. And if you have a Marshall Willen, which is the smaller little brother of this speaker, you could even connect this to that as well. The app also gives you some different EQ presets. So you have the Marshall setting, which is just your default setting. You have the push setting, which is going to give you more of a V-shaped type of sound. So boosted bass as well as boosted treble. You have the voice setting, which is going to be great for like podcasts and voice focused content. When it comes to the JBL Flip 6, inside the app, you also have some EQ controls, and this one gives you like a 3-band equalizer. So you have a little bit more control over the sound versus just having a list of different presets. You can also pair this speaker up with other JBL Party Boost speakers, and this gives you the Party Boost and the stereo option. So you can just connect them and have them play the exact same channels, or you can separate the left and the right channel, which is also an option that you get with the Bose Soundlink Flex. So that's definitely a nice feature, depending on what you're listening to get that true stereo effect. That's not something that you get with the Marshall Emberton 2. On the Bose Soundlink Flex, unfortunately, you don't get access to any EQ controls, but I don't think you really need it because it does sound great just out of the box. So let's go ahead and talk about the sound quality between these three speakers, starting off with the Marshall Emberton 2. So this has a very dynamic type of sound. I love the bass. It has really good bass. but it has really good separation between the bass and the treble. So the vocals are definitely pushed out a little bit more so than something like the Bose. So again, very dynamic, very punchy type of sound. So I do like that about it. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned yet is that this also has stereophonic sound is what they call it. So basically, this is going to project sound from the front as well as from the back of the speaker. So if you were to place this in the middle of a room, for the most part, you're going to get 360-degree sound. Whereas with the Flip 6 and the Bose Soundlink Flex, these are mostly projecting the sound from the front of the speakers. Now let's talk about the Bose Soundlink Flex. So I would say that this one has the most well-balanced sound. It's definitely a very warm, a very mellow type of sound. As far as the bass, I would actually say that this one has the best bass out of the three. Very dynamic, very punchy, and it has just some really good body to it, so to speak. As far as the treble, not quite as pronounced as the Marshall or the JBL. It's a little bit more recessed compared to these other two, but it still sounds great. It's just much more balanced across the board. And the word that comes to mind when it comes to the overall sound on this speaker is just smooth. All right, so let's move over to the JBL Flip 6. And without a doubt, the star of the show when it comes to sound quality on this speaker is the treble and the clarity. It's much more pronounced compared to the other two speakers. So when it comes to like vocals, it's definitely pushing and projecting that sound out there. So vocals come through very clean, very clear. And as far as like volume, I think this speaker is the loudest because of that reason. So I would rank these in terms of volume. I would say the JBL Flip 6, and then the Marshall Emberton 2 and the Bose are pretty neck and neck. I think the Bose might be slightly louder, but definitely the JBL Flip 6 is the loudest of the bunch. And then when it comes to the bass on this speaker, still has some really good bass, but I would say that the bass on the Marshall as well as the Bose is a little bit more pronounced. So let's go ahead and move on to that sound test so that you guys can see for yourselves, or at least hear for yourselves, the differences between these speakers.
Stay up all night, gotta work now. Make up my mind and it turns around. Say that I'm fine till I burn out. Thinking this money sounds so nice. Ambush you in the strobe lights. Pay anything for the high price. This life feels like the sunny water. Stay up all night, gotta work now. Make up my mind and it turns around. Say that I'm fine till I burn out. Thinking this money sounded so nice. Ambush you in the strobe lights. Pay anything for the high price. This life feels like the sunny water. Stay up all night, gotta work now. Make up my mind and it turns around. Say that I'm fine till I burn out. Thinking this money sounded so nice. Ambush you in the strobe lights. Pay anything for the high price. This life feels like the sunny water.
So in love, now you're the one I'm losing sleep for. And I hope the wrong ones slip right through your magic fingers. And I hope we find some way to fall in love like we were. Yeah, you're the only reason I was California dreaming in the first place. Seeing you in sundress season got me all up in my feelings for the old days, old days. I've got the summertime blues, thinking about you and me, in the way that it used to be. I've got the summertime blues, hoping that you might be still holding on to me. Filling out my cup, coffee talk on the screen porch. So in love, now you're the one I'm losing sleep for. And I hope the wrong one slip right through your magic fingers. And I hope we find some way to fall in love like we were. Yeah, you're the only reason I was California dreaming in the first place. Seeing you in sundress season got me all up in my feelings for the old days, old days. I've got the summertime blues, thinking about you and me, in the way that it used to be. I've got the summertime blues, hoping that you might be still holding on to me. Filling out my cup, coffee talk on the screen porch. So in love, now you're the one I'm losing sleep for. And I hope the wrong one slip right through your magic fingers. And I hope we find some way to fall in love like we were. Yeah, you're the only reason I was California dreaming in the first place. Seeing you in sundress season got me all up in my feelings for the old days, old days. I've got the summertime blues, thinking about you and me, in the way that it used to be.
Buckle up, cause the ride's finna get a little bumpy. Coming up, fam, thought I'd be a junkie. Mama ain't raised no dummy, you heard? Buckle up, cause the ride's finna get a little bumpy. Nigga, I go at it, hard to die like bad habits. Parking dudes, so get your flares and hit hazards. Yeah, I got guns that comes with attachments. On my side, not the front, to avoid accidents. Came into this game with flows formatted. While some of y'all are hot, but the rest done had it. Speaking of hot me, and I'm savage, I'm the man to whip it, only the Lord can handle it. Buckle up, cause the ride's finna get a little bumpy. Buckle up, cause the ride's finna get a little bumpy. Coming up, fam, thought I'd be a junkie. Mama ain't raised no dummy, you heard? Buckle up, cause the ride's finna get a little bumpy. Nigga, I go at it, hard to die like bad habits. Parking dudes, so get your flares and hit hazards. Yeah, I got guns that comes with attachments. On my side, not the front, to avoid accidents. Came into this game with flows formatted. While some of y'all are hot, but the rest done had it. Speaking of hot me, and I'm savage, I'm the man to whip it, only the Lord can handle it. Buckle up, cause the ride's finna get a little bumpy. Buckle up, cause the ride's finna get a little bumpy. Coming up, fam, thought I'd be a junkie. Mama ain't raised no dummy, you heard? Buckle up, cause the ride's finna get a little bumpy. Nigga, I go at it, hard to die like bad habits. Parking dudes, so get your flares and hit hazards. Yeah, I got guns that comes with attachments. On my side, not the front, to avoid accidents. Came into this game with flows formatted. While some of y'all are hot, but the rest done had it. Speaking of hot me, and I'm savage, I'm the man to whip it, only the Lord can handle it. Buckle up, cause the ride's finna get a little bumpy.
I know we got you going crazy, thinking that you maybe wanna take some time away. I see. I know you've been thinking lately, maybe if you change it, you should look better, babe. I don't wanna waste your time, I just wanna change it like I know you deserve better, so I'ma give you better, cause I know what you like, right? He can't touch you like I do. He can't freak you like I do. I know we got you going crazy, thinking that you maybe wanna take some time away. I see. I know you've been thinking lately, maybe if you change it, you should look better, babe. I don't wanna waste your time, I just wanna change it like I know you deserve better, so I'ma give you better, cause I know what you like, right? He can't touch you like I do. He can't freak you like I do. I I know we got you going crazy, thinking that you maybe wanna take some time away. I know you've been thinking lately, maybe if you change it, just a little better, babe. I don't wanna waste your time, I just wanna change it like I know you deserve better, so I'ma give you better, cause I know what you like, right? He can't touch you like I do. He can't freak you like I do.
So overall, all three of these are excellent options when it comes to compact portable Bluetooth speakers. Now, considering that they are speakers, sound quality is the main priority here. And for me, personally, I think I'm leaning towards the Bose Soundlink Flex. But again, that's just my personal opinion. So I'm curious to know which one you guys would choose out of this lineup. So that's going to be it for today's video. As always, I appreciate you guys for joining me, and make sure you stay tuned for more videos.